What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. This time we're going to be analysing that, I don't really have words for what the game was, but it's the Champions League quarter-final, second leg. I think the easiest way is just really to get on with this video, but first just wanted to say, yeah, my usual background, I will be back there tomorrow, so I'm just away at the moment, so yeah, apologies for that one if the lighting's bad or anything, but yeah, I just wanted to distribute this video. So, team near enough as I predicted. Vincent Kompany starting 2 games in a row was a surprise to me, which saw John Stones go to the bench instead, which I'm wondering if John Stones is 100% fully fit or not, because we've not really seen him that much, which is a surprise to me. Fernandinho's just coming back from that little injury that he's got, so he was on the bench. I did predict that. I thought we'd go with Gundogan because it was more offensive for Manchester City. Saw Benjamin Mendy start too, which I found not as surprising, if I'm honest. Thought Benjamin Mendy probably would start in this game and then not play in the next game because he isn't really fit enough to be playing game after game after game. I was surprised though to see Leroy Sané benched. I thought David Silva might have dropped to the bench and put Bernardo Silva into the centre and allowed us to go with Raheem Sterling and also Leroy Sané. So yeah, not too sure why we didn't go with that one, but there we go. For Tottenham, no surprises. Lamela didn't end up making it in time for the squad. However, Dele Alli did, and he ended up starting in this game. He had a cast on his wrist after he's got a broken hand. He went with Moura up top and Son on the wings, and it looked like they'd gone with a 4-man defence with Wanyama and Sissoko holding. So it had all the ingredients here of being a fantastic game. City needed quick goals and needed a good early start. We liked the first 15 minutes, and that's exactly what we got. 4 minutes in, great movement from Kevin De Bruyne, wonderful player, right back to his best, isn't he? Feeding Raheem Sterling in on the left. He's allowed to then drift in onto his right. I think it's Alderweireld goes to block, but he ends up kind of ducking out of the way, ends up finding the far post. Wonderful finish, dream start, just what was looking for. 1-0, Tottenham's deficit cut off completely there. We're on a level playing field for the next 86 minutes where City just needed to basically play their game, which they did not. 7 minutes in, some bad defending. Laporte ends up passing it out. He's intercepted. Son's in. He's a weak shot. It kind of took first time. Ederson's there. I was expecting Ederson to make the save. It looked relatively straightforward. He kind of got himself into the position, kind of lifted his foot up off the ground, which allowed the ball to go under it, his foot then to hit the top of the ball and ping it up, and ended up going into the middle of the net, quite high up too. Quite disappointing, I'm sure, for Ederson there, because that, like I said, he took it first time. Wasn't an excellent strike, and it was a disappointing goal to concede, really, from the position that we're in. And crucially, Tottenham having an away goal and confidence after the early blow. 10 minutes in, disaster strikes. Son's in thanks to a heavy touch from Laporte. He's intercepted. Ali feeds in Eriksen. Eriksen just works it to Son. Son, like Raheem Sterling, works it onto his stronger foot. Puts in a lovely curled finish, take nothing away from his finish. Brilliant finish there, and 2-1 Spurs. And I was just left speechless. I didn't really have any words to say, really. I was a bit disillusioned with it all. I was a bit disorientated with everything that was going on. But 11 minutes in, just a minute later, an oh moment, I'd say. Bernardo Silva's in, has a shot. Danny Rose is there. He makes the block. The keeper commits, and it ends up just rolling into the back of the net. And 11 minutes in, we've already had 4 goals, and it's crazy, just absolutely crazy. We're back into the game again. We know what we need to do. We need 2 more goals to go through. That was simple. 21 minutes in, 21 minutes, and we got our 5th goal. Kevin De Bruyne is in on the right after a lovely flick from Bernardo Silva. Watch it in slow motion just to appreciate it. Absolutely brilliant. De Bruyne is there, just whips it in. I did think, was it David Silva that was in the middle? He looked a little bit offside, but he wasn't really involved in the play because the ball was just too far beyond him, but it wasn't too far beyond Raheem Sterling. He was there reading the ball perfectly and just slots it in. I think Lloris gets a hand onto it, but that'll do. Wow, wow, wow. 3-2 right into the game. The game needs slowing down a little bit, and it did. It did slow down as Son went very close with, I think it was a left-footed drive after showing it onto Kyle Walker and goes across. That'll do me very nicely though. 3-2 at half-time, and I felt like we just needed to defend properly because I was certain that we'd get opportunities to score. Felt like maybe we needed another 2, try and get to 5. That'd probably see the game out. Felt like City needed to score next. I wanted to see Fernandinho coming on. I felt like the middle was just too open for Spurs. It was just too open. Everyone was out of breath, just needed that little grit in the middle to see things out, and I was confident if we could score next that we would end up going through. Sissoko ended up coming off for an injury, so they put Llorente on. They looked overwhelmed in midfield when they did that. Not too sure why they put a target man on, but I looked at Tottenham's bench. There isn't a lot of quality there. They're down to the bare bones, basically, and that's why that substitution was forced. I'm surprised they didn't go with an extra defender, but they didn't want to seem like they were defending it, so they were going to attack it instead, which was strange, and I was expecting Tottenham, because of that substitution, to come out in the second half, first 5 or 10 minutes, and really have a go. It didn't really work like that. It was City that was having the dominating stages of the second half, and 59 minutes got the reward. Aguero is onside, ends up slotting past Lloris at his near post. He'll be disappointed with that too, but I'll take it. 4-2. Wanted us to push for another. We have a situation here where I don't want to go 3 minutes and Tottenham go at the other end and score. Just need to play our game, be careful, be nice, safe and sensible, nice and attacking, nice and positive, get that 5th goal and see the game out, because that would have won us the tie. And 73 minutes in, it didn't happen. A corner comes in, Ederson comes to collect, kind of makes a hash of it a little bit, drops it, and it goes out for a corner on the other side. Much better corner, the second one. Ball comes in, Spurs player goes for it, misses it. The City defender behind him goes for it, misses it. And there is Llorente there, ready just to put it into the back of the net. He's celebrating. Tottenham are ecstatic. I saw Kieran Trippier mocking somebody, not too sure what that was all about. Maybe I'm just reading into it too much. But VAR showed that actually it hit Llorente's arm. The referee goes over to have a look at it on the screen. He deems that it hits his hip and fine goes into the back of the net. However, it was shown the wrong replays. One of the replays clearly shows it touches the bottom of his elbow and goes into the back of the net. Now, I'm going to put some clarity there. It has hit his arm. It's still a goal, in my opinion. This next season, the ruling comes in where anything that interferes with a goal that hits your arm, deliberate or not, ball to hand or handball, will be ruled out. You are not allowed to do that as of next season, not this season. And as far as I'm concerned, his arm is in a natural position. It isn't out wide. If you remember Bowley's goal that he scored against Wolves against us right back in August, that was deliberate handball. His arm was outstretched. He needs his arm to put that in the back of the net. His arm is by his side, connected, attached to his body. It hasn't left his body. His arm's just there as he goes to try and slide it in. The only thing I can accuse Llorente of there is he doesn't expect the ball, and so he's just trying to put it in, hit his body, hit anywhere and go in. His arm isn't raised, and if I'm honest, if it was Man City with a corner, even though we don't score off corners, if we'd put that corner in and we'd scored and it had gone to VAR, I would be extremely annoyed if that goal was ruled out for handball. And as far as I'm concerned, it isn't a handball. 4-3, we've got 17 minutes to put it right. And then the huge talking point, 93rd minute. Where do I start? Bernardo Silva plays the ball in off Eriksen. That's the first bit. So Eriksen's in control of the ball. He passes the ball. Bernardo Silva sticks out his leg to try and intercept. The ball hits, I think it was his knee, pings up, takes it past Rose, into the path of Sergio Aguero. I think it was Rose anyway, but it takes it into the path of Sergio Aguero. He controls it instead of shooting, does the sensible thing, squares it across. Sterling composes himself and puts it in the back of the net. That's the situation. Sterling scores, City are through, 5-3, everyone's going crazy, the stadium erupts, atmosphere absolutely incredible inside the Etihad last night, by the way, great atmosphere. If it was like that for every single great game, then it'd be absolutely superb. Full house too, absolutely brilliant. What a treat everyone was presented with yesterday too. But everyone's ecstatic. Pep's running down the wing. He's ecstatic, jumping everywhere. There's pandemonium everywhere. Everyone's ecstatic. I was going crazy. Absolutely brilliant. And then, the VAR check. The VAR check was there. VAR obviously in with this game. Yeah, we know what's coming, don't we? The stadium just goes silent. Deadly silent. VAR check. Is Aguero onside or offside in the build-up in feeding that ball into Raheem Sterling, the ball that Eriksen passed? Now, if Bernardo Silva does not touch that ball, the goal is fine. Aguero can be 10 yards offside. It's not come off our player. Because it's come off Bernardo Silva, he's involved in the play, so it goes off his touch as to whether Aguero was onside or offside. And around half a yard, Sergio Aguero is unfortunately offside. The correct decisions, in my opinion, have been made. It's heartbreaking, though. It is absolutely devastating. The goal is ruled out 4-3. It ends up finishing 4-3, 4-4 on aggregate. Spurs have got 3 away goals, City have none. Spurs go through on away goals, and that's the situation that we're in. And so it begs to differ the question about VAR. VAR, we were robbed last year against Liverpool. Liverpool should have had a goal ruled out. City had a potential penalty, I think it was at Anfield too, that was turned away. Even though VAR might have turned it round, they might not have. And then also that Leroy Sané goal, which was perfectly onside, which was ruled out. And basically, 2 rubs of the green in 2 consecutive years in the Champions League, we haven't had it. And unfortunately, that's just football. And to be honest, devastating. It's absolutely heartbreaking. It's gutting. And I wouldn't wish it on any club anywhere to have such a match like that, such an entertaining match. Both teams just deserve to go through. Both teams absolutely brilliant. And just the way it ended there, I'd rather we just didn't score the goal and just went out. Someone brought up a great point. If Lloris makes the save against Sterling, it goes out for a corner, and City score from that corner, and there's nothing wrong with the corner. The goal's allowed even though he's offside before it, which, you know, it's a potential flaw there, but it's absolutely devastating. So I'm just going to check the stats first before I summarise the game up. So City ended up having 66% possession to Tottenham's 34. 20 shots for City, 8 on target, 4 goals. That's brilliant. Sensational. Attackers have done their jobs. I said before this game, City score 4, we go through. So we look to the defence. 11 shots for Tottenham, 7 on target, 3 goals. Great from them too. Both teams extremely clinical, putting their chances away. Son was brilliant, Sterling was brilliant. There was literally just nothing to choose. In terms of passes, 593, 88% completion rate from City. A bit low for what we're used to with City. 313, 75% completion rate from Spurs. No clear-cut chances created for Spurs. 3 created for City. 21 crosses put in, just 4 for Spurs. 4 more corners for City. City ended up having more recoveries. More tackles for City. 1 more interception for Tottenham. More clearances, more headed clearances. And Tottenham better with the aerial duels. More blocked crosses. And equal amount of saves for both goalkeepers at 4 apiece. So it suggests to me quite a close game in this one. Very nip and tuck. Manchester City ended up getting the difference with a 4-3 win. But as far as I'm concerned, in this game, 4 goals from Manchester City, that is job done. Poor defending. Laporte for the first goal, Laporte for the second goal, Ederson even for the first goal you could accuse too. The third goal for Tottenham, it's just one of them things really. Just one of them things, isn't it really? A corner, maybe marking up a little bit better while Llorente's got free space in that 6-yard box. I'm not too sure. Goal side of Laporte, so yeah. We need to improve on that. That's where the improvement needs to be, in our defence, on our defending, working on set play, working on position, and just generally, the first goal comes about through rushing the play, and the second goal comes about through just misconcentration. And to be honest, to win the Champions League, you need to be bob on it every single game. If you're not going to win the Champions League, and it's as simple as that. I've seen it against Monaco when we played them, leaking too many goals. Saw it against Liverpool, particularly at Anfield, leaking too many goals. I've seen it at the Etihad today against Tottenham, just leaking too many goals. Once I've sorted that out, I think this team's set to do real well in the Champions League. I'm not talking about winning it, but I'm talking on a more consistent basis. Instead of last 16 and quarter-finals every season, I'm talking quarter-finals, semi-finals, finals, and potentially winning it. But all in all, very disappointing. I feel like this tie's been decided in the first leg at Tottenham. When you come away with a loss and no away goals, I read a stat, 33% of the time you're going through, the other 66 point whatever percent you're not going to go through. And so we're putting ourselves in a position where it's unlikely that we're going to go through, and we've got a load of hard work, and it shouldn't be the case. My opinion, you want to win the Champions League, you want to go through over 2 legs. When you're playing away from home, you need a result, you need something. You need something to work with. When you've got no away goals and you've lost the game, you've got very little to work with. If we lose 4-3, for example, at Tottenham's ground, we've got 3 away goals. Tottenham are under a lot of pressure, particularly if we do what we did in this game and score first. And so, as far as Tottenham are concerned, if this was the first leg, they'd be delighted even with the 4-3 because they're still well within the game with the away goals. And that's what City need to be working on. We did it well at Schalke. Need to just get round to doing it more against teams with a little bit more quality. The English side, we know what they're made of. We know they've got a lot of quality, and that's where we need to go moving forward. We've got a big game coming up on Saturday against Tottenham again. Both teams put in so much energy yesterday that both teams are just going to be completely knackered. Tottenham's bench isn't strong, having a little bit of an injury crisis. If the players like Sissoko isn't fit to go and Winks isn't fit to go on Saturday, they're in a bit of a problem. What are they going to go for? They're kind of down to the bare bones, and they're going to need to make at least a couple of changes, and that's the situation that they're in. For Man City, we've got a better squad depth, so we're able to make them changes, so it'll be interesting to see what team we go for. But most importantly now, we've got the Premier League and FA Cup to go for. The Q word is no longer on. Impossible, in my opinion, to win. The Champions League's the hardest of them all to win, in my opinion, in terms of quality. In terms of consistency, though, the most difficult thing to win is the Premier League, and no team's done it back-to-back now in over a decade. That's the hardest thing to do, and as far as I'm concerned, we've got this big match against Tottenham. If we can beat them on Saturday at the Etihad, like we've won in this game, I'll take another 4-3. I'd prefer it not to be, because it didn't do anything for my heart rate, but I'd prefer for us to... Any win would do. Any win, pick up a win, that'd be great moving forward. We know that if we win our last games going forward, every single game from now to the end of the season, we'll come out with a domestic treble, and that's what we've got to be aiming for. It'll be a very successful season if that is the case. There we go, we're out the Champions League. It is what it is, disappointing, but we move on, and I think every single player should be very proud of themselves, move forward, put the plans in place here to win this game on Saturday, put the plans in place to win the match against Manchester United midweek, then against Burnley, then against Leicester, then against Brighton, then against Watford in the Cup final. And that's what we need to focus on now. Players have got a lot of opportunities now to rest coming up once we've got the next week and 1 day out of the way, basically. Once we've got them out of the way, we're literally just on the last parts of the season. And we've got a week's break, which is crucial. Liverpool gone through, they've not got that week's break. So we know that if we can win our next 3 games, these next 3 Premier League games, City will be top, and it'll be completely advantage Manchester City, knowing that we've got 1 game at home, 1 game away, and Liverpool are playing 4 times whilst we're playing twice in 2 weeks, whilst they've got 2 extremely difficult games against a high energy, in my opinion, the strongest team left in the Champions League in the form of Barcelona. They're going to have to make changes. And so, we need to get the job done, need to keep the chins up, need to work hard, and if we can do that, then I'm confident we can win this game on Saturday and move forward from there. We need to right these wrongs. Like I said, we didn't do a lot wrong in this game. The damage had kind of been done in the first leg, so we just need to move forward, win this game on Saturday and put the plans in place there. So hopefully the players will be able to work hard and make that happen, and I'm hoping it'll give them that little bit of motivation. There's nothing like failure motivating you to want to do better, in my opinion, and so they need to apply that. And it's all about not failing, not going out, but how you respond to these situations. We lost against Spurs last week, responded beautifully by beating Crystal Palace. We've won this game, but we're sad because we've gone out. If we can respond and win this Premier League game against Spurs, there we go, and we can move on from there. So I said it down but not out. It's the same situation. We might be out now, but we're certainly not down. We've got plenty of more big games coming up. We need to get the points done. So hopefully all the fans will be there back in Manchester City, and hopefully the Etihad will become a fortress. The atmosphere yesterday, incredible. All the fans did their part. The attacking players did their part. Just wasn't to be. My opinion, we're not ready to win the Champions League just yet. We need a little bit of tinkering, and as far as I'm concerned, quadruple, impossible to win. You want to win the Champions League and compete in the Premier League, you kind of got to do what Liverpool do and chuck the cups. And chucking the cups means you don't taste as much success. And so if you want to taste success, it's the price you pay for winning trophies. So you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. But all I'm thinking about, Saturday, Tottenham Hotspur. Premier League to me, the creme de la creme. No team's held that in over 10 years. We've got a wonderful opportunity here. Win our games. We're done. So there we go. It's been the video. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you leave a big thumbs up. Sorry it's a bit long and I've rambled on a little bit, but there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to talk about. So I'd love to know your thoughts of this game and the games going forward in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here. Press the red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. You can go and check out my social media in description below and popping up on screen if you want to go and follow me on there and help in any number games on there. Would be much appreciated. Any help towards my number gains and my subscribers on this channel would be much appreciated too. Aiming for 2,600 subscribers, so I'm hoping to hit that before the weekend even hits. So any help towards that would be much appreciated. I'll see you all again for the preview for the Tottenham game. It's tiring, we're all drained, but hopefully we can pick up the win and move on. So I'll see you all again for the preview tomorrow. So it's been JSGC. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, or as much as a good day as possible. It's always difficult when you lose, isn't it? Peace. Ciao for now.